Okay, so now we have problem B of today's Codeforces contest. And okay, let's read the problem statement first. So it says that Slavik is preparing a present for a friend's birthday. He has an array A of n digits, and the present will be the product of all these digits. Because Slavik is a good kid who wants to make the biggest product possible, he wants to add 1 to exactly one of his digits. Okay, what's the maximum product Slavik can make? And we have t test cases and the number of integers, that means which is the size of the array and then the elements of the array. Okay, and we have to output the maximum product Slavic can make. Fine, so this we have first, second, the four test cases. So let's first discuss the intuition behind this problem, then we'll get to the code part. So if we carefully observe, we have the elements of the array here, 2, 2, 1, 2. So if you carefully observe for each test case or for any array in general, you take any array of random any n numbers to make the maximum possible product, and you have to add only one. You have to add only one to exactly one of the digits, to exactly one of the elements of the array. So if you have 1, 2, 3, some n number of elements in an array, you can add 1 to any one of the elements, any one of the n elements, so that your product is maximized. Okay, so let's see for this example. If I add 1 here, okay, okay, firstly my initial product here would be, sorry for my bad handwriting here. Okay, so initial product is 8. If I add 1, so the elements I have is 3, 2, 1, 2, and my product now would be 12. If I add 1 to 1, then the elements would be 2, 2, 2, 2, and my product would be 16. Okay, so let's observe for the second text case. Erase this all. Okay, so my second test case is 0, 1, 2. Clearly the product here is, clearly the product here is, the initial product is 0, and if I want to maximize the product, there's no way I can add 1 to any of these numbers and expect my maximum product, because we have a 0 here. So the best way is I add a 1 here. Okay, so then my product would be 2. And if you just carefully think about it, you have any n numbers, any random n numbers, and you want to maximize product, the only way to do that is to add 1 to the minimum number. Let's take some elements of our choice. Let's say I would take 9, 2, 2. So it might be tempting to think here that, I just add 1 to 9 and I'll have 10, 2, and 2. But let's see what's the reality here. Okay, so the initial product here is 36, right? And I add 1 to 9. Now my new product is 40. But wait, let's hold on. What if I add 1 to the lowest number, the minimum element, which is 2? Then my elements would be 9, 3, 2. And now my product is 54. And logically, if you think about it, for any n numbers of an array, if we pick up the minimum element and we add 1 to it, is the only way to get the maximum product. We can't add 1 to the maximum element, we can't add 1 to any random element. So just pick up the minimum element, add 1 to it, and do the product. That's it. So we'll get to the solution. Okay, yeah, so this is the code. We First we write the code to input t test cases, tc at the number of test cases, and then I run this for t number of times. I run this code for t number of times, and I take in n as input, and then I take it the integer, and I take an array I as input. So once I have the inputs, so what I do is I find out the minimum index. the minimum index. I use the C++ library, and then I add 1 to the minimum element. I take the minimum index and then I add 1 at that position, and then I calculate the product. That's it. So that's it. Your problem solved, and see you in the next problem. Bye bye.